Shalom, family trendsetter. In this video, I will be discussing a topic that is going to be thought-provoking. So I want y'all to pay attention, all right? Now, initially, when you hear this, you won't be able to understand it first. So you probably want to rewatch the video to get a better understanding of what I'm trying to convey in this message. Now, I want to talk about spiritual DNA as well as physical DNA. Have you ever came across a family member or a friend that have a child, and this child has either mental illness or have some kind of disability, maybe autism, and you say to yourself, where did this come from? Because on both sides, let's say the male and female side of the family, is not in the family, tree, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's not in the family where you have mental illness or retardation or probably what they call it, what's that thing I just mentioned? Autism, excuse me. So what I'm saying is this, right? If you was a female, when you in your younger days, you was promiscuous and you used to have multiple partners, and these men was having unprotected sex with you and ejaculating inside of you, they're leaving a trace of their DNA. Each man that ejaculates inside of you leave a trace of their DNA inside of you. So let's say you decide further on in life to start a family, and your significant other, let's say, for example, he's a quiet individual, right? Then you have a child that come out is very rambunctious, all over the place, probably artistic, retarded, God forbid, just really fucked up, right? And you say to yourself, where did this child come from? Because my side of the family is okay, his side of the family is okay. Why is this child this way? It's because you haven't really considered the other men that you was with. Maybe they left a stain of their DNA inside of your womb, and now the child that you brought forth decided to keep. Now that child has these men DNA inside of them. This is why a lot of times you see a lot of these serial killers and shit, or, psychopath just acting crazy, and you meet the parents and the parents is nothing like the child. Is because the woman probably had sexual relations in the past with other men that was bugged out. I know it sounds a little bit off the wall, but just really consider what I'm saying. So I guess what I'm trying to say, family, that we need to be careful as a nation of people who we lay down with. Okay, you women out there that's having multiple partners, consider the fact that this man that you're with could be a psychopath, could be a child molester, could be a serial killer. Not because he doesn't present or exhibit that behavior in front of you, that doesn't mean he's not like that. And then you move on to another partner, and then you pick up another kind of individual. You have to understand this is why a lot of times our family members or your kid come out to be a certain type of way because of the decision that we make in life. Remember, sex is marriage. It's not that communion service that they have where you have this fake ass pastor go before a congregation with a piece of paper on the Bible talking about, do you take this man to be your lawful, whether husband and wife or whatever the hell they say. That's not the marriage. The marriage is when you go and have sex. To consummate the marriage is to have sex. So the Bible also teaches that when you and someone have sex, y'all become one flesh. Okay, so I want y'all to understand, family, this is very, very deep. So the reason why I'm saying this is to say, if you have teenagers, young adults growing up, you need to teach them to try to be, with one individual. Try not to have sexual relation, because when you have sex, sex is marriage. As a matter of fact, the very first individual you as a female had sex with, that's your husband. That was your husband. And if you decide later on to move on to another partner, then you now commit adultery against the Most High. Because adultery is when you leave one man and go to a next without the man actually putting you away. Or, for example, this man is still alive. I know it's a little bit confusing what I'm saying. I'm trying to get through this because I have another topic I want to discuss, which is called blood transfusion. But yes, sex is actually marriage. So if you had, let's say, for example, 4 or 5 different partners, some of y'all probably had 100 partners, then you already committed adultery 100 times by moving on from one man to the next, and this man is still alive. Okay, but in your ignorance, I believe the Most High will wink at your ignorance. But if you have become in the truth, decide to follow the faith, the Hebrew Israelite faith, then you're not supposed to be running around with different men. Now, for you men who believe that you can have more than one wife, yes, in our culture, right, we used to practice that, but we're in the land of our enemies. So a lot of the stuff that we practice when we're in our land, we can't do that shit here. Just like how I don't do all that, feast day stuff here, because I know we're in the land of our enemy. The Most High said he would designate a spot. I don't do what you call a blood sacrifice and what they call a Passover here in the land of captivity, because you have to find an unblemished lamb. And I know you can't just go to the grocery store and buy some meat and say, okay, I'm going to sacrifice this to the Most High. And besides that, we don't have a Leviticus priest over us. So the same way how we can't do that shit in the land of captivity, we're not supposed to be having multiple wives in captivity. Because, again, we're not practicing the way how our forefathers did it. And even with them, when they did it, they failed because, excuse me, family, they also sinned against the Most High. So, again, I just wanted to come on here, man, just to bring forth this information. Yes, we as a people, we need to now start to open our minds. The Most High have been bringing forth a lot of information to me, and I'm trying to share this with y'all. And again, family, yes, if you're a female, please do not go out there and deal with different men, deal with different men, because it's against the Most High. It's a sin against the Most High. For you men that's out there who having multiple partners, talking about it's okay to have more than one wives, you're practicing whoredom because you're not doing it the right way. You have to be able to take care of these people that you're sleeping with, and it's not fair to these women to be emotionally stressed because you want to have somebody to fuck you every day. You know what I'm saying? Somebody new to fuck. I'm keeping it 100. This is a fuck channel. So I just wanted to come on here and let y'all know, yes, I would never want to pick up another wife unless I can take care of this person. Do I have desire for other women? Of course. It's in human nature. But I know that my wife ain't going to go for it. I would have to do it on the low and shit. And then the other shorty, she probably going to be cheated out of it because, you know, unless she's with it and willing to be the side chick, which in most cases, most women nowadays, they don't want to be the side chick anymore. But again, family, I just wanted to come and share this information with you, share this information with y'all. I just want y'all to understand that there's a lot of things that we do. And the Most High said he shall destroy us for lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Regardless whether we know it or not, he's still going to destroy us, because if we follow the law, statutes, and commandment, we won't have to worry about offending the Most High. But again, family, I just wanted to share this with y'all to let y'all know that, you know, we are doing a lot of things that's offending the Most High. And unless we come back to the law, statutes, and commandments and realize that we need to serve only one power and not follow Christianity, because Christianity teaches you how to sin. Okay, don't eat of no man's body or drink of their blood, because that's cannibalism as well as vampirism. But stay tuned for the second portion of the video. I'm going to be talking about blood transfusion. You won't want to miss this. Believe it or not, some good information. The Most High have been speaking to my spirit for me to bring forth this information.